Morning, kids. It's a Wednesday. So glad you guys are with me. Thank you for joining me in another Mic Talk. We proclaim Jesus with the song of grace and the sword of truth. We need it. Do you need some grace today? Well, we sing about Jesus Christ. His grace saves us. And we sing the truth. We wield the sword of truth, the Bible. We'll get there in Luke chapter 14 here in just a moment. Just a few housekeeping things this morning. It's Wednesday, so I want to remind you that you can be a part of this ministry. You can give to it. You can go to songandsword.com. You can hit that donate button. You can give weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, however you can, one-time gift. We appreciate it all because it's all going to proclaim the truth of Jesus Christ all over the world. So thank you for being a part of that, and we'd love for you to join us. You also can be old school. You can send a check if you want to 315 North Prairie Street, and we'll gladly deposit that in our account, and we'll use it for the kingdom. Hey, I just want to show you some of the tools of the trade today. This is the prayer journal that I've started just for the Song and Sword prayers. I've got another journal I write in, but I just want to remind you this is how I'm remembering you in prayer. So I'm praying for Julie Charter and the cousin who has stage 4 cancer, and I'm praying for Justin Carlock today. Justin, praying for your dad Jim and his heart. Praying along with you, Mark and Sherry, for a little girl who his name is Grace. And so I just want to let you know, when you text prayer to that number on the screen, it's going to me, it's coming to my heart. I'm bearing that burden with you, and I'm taking it before the Lord, standing with you in prayer. I hope that you guys are well, and I hope that you just keep going. That's part of what we're going to talk about this Sunday. I'm working on the sermon. What's the sermon look like before? It looks kind of like that. That's the sermon for Sunday. But now I've got a lot of study to do today and putting together an outline, and then the writing will come later. But pray for your pastor. Pray for us every day at 149. Pray for Song and Sword. Pray for this building we're pursuing. Pray that God will work in miraculous ways, open doors. I know He will. I'm not afraid about that. I know that God will get us where He wants us to go when He wants us to be there. It's just trying to pray our way through it and watch for His signs. So pray with us today. We're going to be in Luke chapter 14, a very, very incredible, cool passage, one that I've loved my whole life. I used to teach this to teenagers because of the whole idea of peer pressure and cliques and friends and stuff. But Luke chapter 14, verse 12 says, Jesus is speaking, He said also to the man who had invited him, when you give a dinner or a banquet, do not invite your friends or your brothers or your relatives or rich neighbors, lest they also invite you in return and you be repaid. But when you give a feast, invite the cripple, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you, for you will be repaid at the resurrection of the just. What an incredible, here's what, let me just summarize this teaching of Jesus right now. If you are throwing a big party, don't invite your friends. Everybody does that. Don't invite influencers, people that you want to impress. Don't invite all the people that it would be obvious for you to invite. Invite outsiders. Invite the lame. Invite the crippled. Invite the blind. Invite the poor. Now, in Jesus' day, the first century, these were the outcasts. In fact, the cripple and the lame and the blind, they would be considered sinful because they have something wrong with them. They would consider everybody in this prayer book that has something physically wrong with them as a sinner because they are being punished for the sin that they've committed. And nothing could be farther from the truth. Jesus is trying to get the thinking different about how we look at people. And we have a tendency to like our friends and not like everybody else. We have a tendency to be, I use the word clique, to be cliquish, to gravitate to our friends and shut everybody else out. But that doesn't work in the church. And my biggest prayer for Song and Sword is that everyone, every time, every Sunday when they walk in the door will feel welcome. That they'll go, I can come in this place and I'm not an outsider. People don't see me, because here's the deal. There are lame, blind, and cripple and poor spiritually people. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you don't go to church because you're like, I'm poor spiritually. I stand out because I'm not that churchy. Or I'm lame, my spiritual walk has a limp to it. Or I'm blind, I don't see what everybody else sees. And the feeling is sometimes in the church that people walk in, they go, I don't belong here. I'm not welcome here. Well, what if we threw a party every week, every day, for people who don't belong in our lives, and we include them and make them part of our lives? It's easy. in Jesus' teaching here, to invite your friends and your brothers, your relatives, and your rich neighbors. That's the easy part. The Jesus following life challenges us to invite people who are outsiders. When I was a youth pastor back in the day, I would encourage kids, every high school and junior high cafeteria I've ever been in any school, there's that table or two where kids that nobody are befriending, where they feel outsiders. Maybe they've got some disabilities. Maybe they are on the spectrum learning-wise. And I used to encourage kids, just muster up enough courage and go sit at that table. And I think that's what Jesus is saying. Find a table today where people might feel like they're alone or outsiders or not worthy or not loved. Sit at that table. That's what Jesus is saying. Or better yet, throw a party in their honor. You will not regret it because your righteousness will be repaid when you get to glory. God bless you guys. Let's follow Jesus today. See you tomorrow.